Alright. Welcome here today, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. Today, the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan International Speedway. No practice or qualifying coming into this race for us here today. So starting from the back with Ryan Blaney as always for this championship called 48. I'm RIP. Welcome to the stream. And right before we get started here, I'll take you through the point standings. Once I look it back up, I should have pulled that up on my laptop before we started here. So give me a quick second on that. Again, we have to do points ourselves for the Cup and the Xfinity Series because the game did not save the last, or I should say the Charlotte race for either the Cup or Xfinity. So take a look at that. I know it's tight. And it's been a few days since we've ran the Cup Series on this game, so that's why I can't remember off the top of my head. Here we go. Alright, so here is the points as they run, the top 5 at least. Ryan Blaney comes into this race with the lead. The point standings, 8 stage wins, 4 race wins on the season. Second in points right now, tied for second actually, would be Brad Keselowski. He is 7 points back. He's got 2 stage wins, 1 race win. 1 race win and no stage wins for Denny Hamlin. He is tied with Keselowski for second right now, so Brad holds the tiebreaker there. Fourth in points, 73 points back is Kyle Busch with 4 stage wins and 1 race win. And then Kevin Harvick is 5th in points right now, 89 points back, with 2 race wins and 4 stage wins. So that is what we're looking at for the top 5 here. Again, the top 3 within 7 points of one another coming into this race today. Rodney Martin, Ghost Destroyer, welcome to the stream as well. I'm muted. Can anybody else hear me? You can? Okay. Alright. Well, if that's the case, then I guess we're good to go. Okay, for a second, so I was hoping I didn't have to go through that intro again there. Alright. From the 37th starting spot, Ryan Blaney will roll off on the grid, so we'll get to see him come from the back to the front. Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski, and Josh Bilicki will be the other 3 drivers to start at the back, so we'll get to see 2 Penske Fords come from the back to the front of the field. It's going to be a fun one here today. We had a fun one on NASCAR Thunder 2004 yesterday at Michigan. One of the classic races on the channel, if I do say so myself, and the green flag is again in the air for another 400 miles and 200 laps. 60 laps here in stage 1, 60 in stage 2, 80 in stage number 3. Using the steering wheel here today as well. Initial start here, Keselowski, Blaney side by side. Christopher Bell with a couple wins on the season, so really you got 3 fast race cars starting at the back. Blaney maybe driving it in just a hair too deep. Bobby Carter pulls right in front of him, shutting the door on him, and now Brad Keselowski following his teammate down the front stretch on the inside of the racetrack. And now a push. Teamwork by the Penske Fords early. They try to work together to try and get through this pack of cars as quickly as they can. Blaney trying to stick the inside. Double file down the back straightaway. Looking to go 3 wide now. John Hunter Nemechek in the middle. Blaney on the bottom. Ryan Preece on the top. 4 wide now in the center of the corners. Michael McDowell went way upstairs near the wall. Daniel Suarez had a big run in the middle, trying to get away from the 12 car. And look at the 2 of Keselowski. He had a huge head of steam on the top. Gave Blaney a shot to get around Stenhouse. And Suarez now looking to get around Justin Haley. 3 wide underneath the Benedetto, Bubba Wallace. Blaney all the way down to the apron. Trying to give himself as much room as possible through the tri-oval. As he is going to work early, now trying to get inside the top 20 if he can get around Austin Dillon through turns 1 and 2, and he does. A little contact with Chris Buescher, but that kind of shoots Buescher a little bit further out ahead. Now Blaney tries to side draft him a little bit, pull him back, and he'll clear him before they get into turn number 3. BJ McLeod goes high. Blaney did it to the inside. Boy, he just got right in the back of Clint Boyer and just shot Boyer way ahead of his teammate Custer. Ashton G, welcome to the stream. Car looks fast early on in the race today, trying to work his way through the field. He's got to stall out a little bit. This car's getting a lot faster, but look at the group of cars. There's about 5 or 6 cars at the front of the field right now, all battling for the lead. Blaney hoping to join the mix eventually. Trying to pull back Tyler Reddick a little bit. They both drive it off deep into turns 3 and 4. BJ McLeod all the way to the top side, trying to get a run now off of turn 4. Blaney on the inside slides up near him. Blaney's car a little loose at the beginning of the run here, but loose is fast if he can hang on to it. Should be able to clear McLeod now for 15th, and he will. Almirola to the inside of Matt Kenseth. Big run here by the 12 and the 78. They'll follow one another down to the inside as they both take it in 3 wide, and they'll get around the 42 and the 10. Blaney trying to break the draft on the 78 of McLeod, not able to do it there. Slightly went down to the inside. McLeod keeps wanting to run that middle to upper lane. Blaney's been sticking it right around the bottom. That has worked out best for him, and he'll pull the 78 car a little bit more. Pause it for a quick second. I'm really sorry. I didn't press play on my laptop, so the screen went black and I lost the chat there for a second. All right, there we go. Should be able to have it ready to go now. Nathan Frago, welcome to the stream. All right, there we go. We're back. Already almost 10 laps complete. This was the fastest track in NASCAR up until the package change, but it still is one of the fastest. They still hit speeds upwards of 200 miles an hour going into turn number 1. When they had that 750 horsepower package with the Gen 6 cars, I can remember because I was there in person. Michigan's my home track, and I mean, they were hitting speeds of nearly 220 going into turn 1. The first time I went there in person was 2015 in the August race, and it was insane. We actually sat down in turn 1 when it was the cars were at their fastest, so it was a pretty cool experience for my first race ever. Back there a handful of times since. Big run, Blaney almost went up the middle there between Chase Elliott, Ryan Newman. Elliott had a big run to the inside, and now Blaney takes it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Going into turn 3. And this 12 car's already driven himself inside the top 10. Yeah, thanks for subbing, by the way, Rodney. Blaney barely has to roll out of the gas through the corners. It just seems like everybody else is kind of letting out of the gas a little bit more. Big run now in the back of Kurt Busch. Harvick's going to go high. It's going to give an opportunity for Blaney to get around him as well as he shoots the gap to the inside for 8th. Race leader out in front of the field is Joey Logano. Denny Hamlin in 2nd. With stage points at a premium here. Again, the top 3 within 7 points of each other. 15 playoff points are awarded to the regular season champion. So, automatically, you're looking at a situation here where stage points are going to be so crucial over these next couple of races, especially in deciding who can maybe break away from those 3. Jimmy Johnson having a stellar run inside the top 5. Not one of his best racetracks statistically. He's had a lot of bad luck at this racetrack, but Jimmy running very well early on. Maybe looking to have himself be one of the contenders as this race rolls on if he could stay in that position. Blaney going to try to get him around the outside. Goes down the side, draft him down the straightaway. Jimmy maybe going to try to pull him back, but not quite. Blaney clears him before they get into turn 1. This 12 car is a rocket ship here today. So are the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, 3 of which inside the top 4. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But not for long, because that 12 car is cutting through this field. So 2 Penske's, 3 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas in the top 5. And even Eric Jones, the 4th Joe Gibbs Toyotas in 7th. So they have brought speed to the racetrack today. Everybody will have to make 1 pit stop in this opening stage of the race. Be interesting to see what kind of pit strategies come out of that. Blaney maybe dove in a little too deep there through 3 and 4. Truex trying to get the run on the top. Yeah, the next gen car is going to be interesting because they're still having the test runs to try and figure out how they're going to, like, how the outcome of it's going to be. Pretty much the look we have about right. Horsepower is going to be lower. It's just going to be a matter of what kind of package are they going to run. Are they going to run lower horsepower with the same package they've kind of got now, with the tapered spacers and the higher downforce? It'll be interesting to see. I don't think they're going to change it from the horsepower, at least. I think they're going to stay right around that 550 range. The idea to make it lower because they're really trying to cut costs with this new or next gen car, which is the whole reason that they're doing it, in my opinion, for the most part. Yeah, the product of the racing itself as well, but I think they're more looking at the cost, and that's why you see a lot of new teams coming in, because they're expecting the cost to be less. And it would even the playing field, obviously, or help even the playing field. The playing field is never going to be completely even. The top teams are always going to be at the top. It's just going to be a matter of how quickly can these smaller teams adapt and stay up on their resources to keep up with these larger teams is going to be the big thing to watch over the next 5 to 10 years with this next gen car. So Blaney up to second, only a half a second off his teammate for the race lead, Joey Logano. Plenty of time left in the stage. Lap 19 currently. And Blaney, I mean, I just cannot believe how quickly he has gotten through the field. Now looking high on Logano for the lead. Logano went to the bottom. Blaney wants to waste no time as he goes to that middle to upper lane. Logano slides up, trying to side draft him off the turn 2. But Blaney has the run and the momentum off the top. Clears him down the back straightaway. I'm surprised he caught him even before the lap traffic. First set of lap cars probably going to come up next lap. Pit window's 38 to 42 laps on fuel here for today's race. We saw on NASCAR Thunder 2004, it was probably a lot closer to 50 laps. A lot of it has to do with the more on-throttle time, though, that these cars have with this package, too. You just seem to burn a little bit more fuel on these longer and bigger tracks compared to before. Although they were running higher speeds, you were off the throttle a little bit more, so anytime you're off the gas and off the brakes, you can save fuel without completely having to shut the car off. Matt Benedetto off to a terrible start to the day, back in 36 as well. He's one of the bubble drivers coming into today's race on the outside looking in as he sits 18th in points. Not a good run today. That could drop him back a little bit further. Something else to note as well, the first 5 drivers below 16th in points are all within one race of the 16th place drivers. So 16th through 21st in points, all within one race of each other. And what do I mean by that? I mean they're all within 60 points. Of course, 60 points being the max amount of points you could score in a race. So that is also something to look forward as we get closer and closer to the playoffs for this season. Still a decent amount of races to go even after today. The next race for this Cup Series season will be our first road course race. It will be at Sonoma, and that will be coming up later in the week. Oh boy, I wasn't paying attention there. A little shot from behind there to the back of Ross Chastain. Chris Buescher fading back to 30th as well. Robbie, welcome to the stream. Had a lot of races lately, especially in the Cup Series, where we haven't had a lot of cautions, so we'll have to see if the trend will continue today. Now, although at Kansas in the last race, we did have a total of 6 cautions, so that went up compared to the 4 races before that, where we had 4 or less. So far, clean start today at Michigan, no cautions up to this point. Well, there would be at some point in time. We've seen drivers of African American descent in NASCAR. You look back within the last 2 decades, Bill Lester raced a large part in the Truck and Xfinity series, well, Truck and now Xfinity series, but he did have some Cup Series starts as well, and he was a really good driver in the Truck Series. He had a few wins down there. Had one at Michigan that I can remember watching. So yeah, and there will be A matter of how long, it just depends. It's going to be like anything else, trying to find that guy with talent. But I think another reason of what is good with growing the sport is, yeah, not only the fan base itself that people talk about, but even the maybe role model Bubba Wallace might be looked on younger African Americans looking to get into racing, physically driving themselves and not just being a fan. I'm sure that plays a huge role on it, and maybe trying to break their way into NASCAR that way. I think it will at some point in time. It's not like he's going to be the last one or the last one, you know, maybe for a while, but I kind of look at it as, I think Eric Eastep made the perfect analogy. It's like Tiger Woods in golf, essentially. If Bubba Wallace obviously wins races, but if he goes out there next year or the next couple seasons and starts winning races with this team, I mean, you can literally, you know, golf was a dominantly, you know, white sport for a long time. Tiger Woods came along. Now you see great golfers like Tony Finau. For those of you that might watch golf, you might not know who that is, but he's really good. You know, and you see guys along the years, yeah, there's more than what there would have been 2 or 3 decades ago. So I think that's the kind of impact you could kind of see if he starts winning races. Joshua White, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I have heard that name, Joshua. I can't draw a face to it, but he's in the K&N series, isn't he? Our arc of, I don't know if it's East or West, the formerly known as K&N, but not the actual like main ARCA series. He's younger though. I've heard the name. Oh, nice, Rodney. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's so much a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And obviously, again, you have to have the talent to go with it. You can't just stick a random person in a stock car. But that's like that with anything. You can have sponsorship, and you can have the talent it takes to get to that point. I'm sure you will see more down the road. And you can almost say the same for Hailie Deegan in that aspect, and I think that's why you hear, you know, Bubba Wallace's name come up a lot within the NASCAR community, even before, you know, everything that happened this year, as well as Hailie Deegan, is because that could be the same kind of role model for women at the same time. Yeah, you look at Danica Patrick and it could have been that way, but she didn't win any races, and you don't really, like, I don't really think that's changed much. So that's why there's so much relying on Hailie Deegan, because if she could win races, it would basically have that kind of same effect. So in a way, yeah, that's why I'm pulling for him, because it would be best for the sport, both in, you know, the fans, both with the fans and with, you know, younger kids wanting to hopefully get into the sport, you know, and dream to get into the sport, and really strive for that going forward as well. Yeah, Xfinity Series race will be going on during the course of this stream today, but this is the only time I really have today, with it being Halloween, to get the stream out. Blaney is already lapping a ton of cars in the early going of this race. Still in stage 1, but you see William Byron in 16 just up ahead. A 16-second lead for Blaney. This car is on a rail right now. Maybe we could win the Cup races on 2 different games here at Michigan in back-to-back days. 3 wide at the top to get around Chad Finch and Bobby Carter, and there's a caution. First caution of the race is out at lap 33. And you're going to see everybody come to pit road now. Eric Almirola, by the way, a few laps ago was up in smoke. He went on to pit road. He was running right around 10th. So that's a tough break for him. I don't think he's made his way back out on the racetrack. So 4 fresh tires, no adjustments coming up here for the 12 of Blaney. And we'll see who will win the race off of pit road. Ryan Blaney wins the race off of pit road. Joey Logano will be second. So Penske Ford's on the front row. Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, row 2 and 3. You see Eric Jones back at 6. Green flag is back in the air at Michigan. 25 laps to go to decide stage 1. And quickly, Blaney gets through the shifts. He moves up in front of Logano. And look at the inside takeoff. Denny Hamlin had a good restart down there as well. Hamlin jumps up to second. He'll clear Logano off of turn 2. I think Blaney moving up kind of stalled Joey's momentum off on the restart. Kurt Busch is now cracking into the top 5. Blaney's got the clean air, but on these restarts is where you're going to see these huge pack of cars. You saw 5 or 6 cars earlier in the race battling with each other for about 10 laps before Logano was able to get away from it. And then eventually 10 laps later, Blaney ran him down. So Blaney's trying to hold off Kyle Busch. Here comes Kurt from back in 7th on the restart. He's up to 2nd and looking for the lead. Kurt to the inside, Kyle to the outside. Blaney gets sucked right up the middle, and he gets bounced around quite a bit. There's heavy contact down the back straightaway. That got dicey really quick, and they're still 3 wide going into turn 3. And now Logano looking for the lead once again as he's got Kurt Busch to his outside. Kyle Busch, meanwhile, a few car lengths back, gets the run off the top. Maybe he can get the run in the draft behind Kurt. Truex up the middle, further back between Blaney and Jones. Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson side by side in the back half of the top 10 as well. And Blaney, as soon as Kurt and Kyle split him 3 wide, immediately you just saw a bunch of cars just flat out shoot right by him. And there's Keselowski, who has come from the back of the pack as well. He's now in the top 10. And again, trying to help out his teammate, Ryan Blaney. I think all 3 Penske cars have speed, and we've seen that already in stage 1. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. Oh, Truex about shot him into, oh, Jimmy got in the wall. Jimmy got in the wall off of turn 2. Blaney gets another shot from Keselowski. Drives it underneath of Jimmy Johnson, trying to hold it. Going up, trying to side draft him. And again, here comes Keselowski to push his teammate on the bottom. A couple 100 cars on the top, but Jimmy's almost looking like he wants to make a move on Bowman. I don't think he's close enough, though. Plus, Blaney to his inside didn't help either. Oh, and Jimmy just pulls him back. Blaney wasn't able to clear him. Keselowski has been just absolutely shoving the back of that 12 car pretty much since the start of the race today. Whenever they could find each other. Logano is breaking away from the pack as Denny Hamlin's in 2nd. Followed by Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones, your top 5. Truex, Blaney, Keselowski, Bowman, and Johnson, and now Bowman, your top 10. Late in stage 1. Yeah, Grant Enfinger, man, I watched the entire truck race last night, and he was, them being a Sandusky team, and I actually, my dad knows somebody that's, one of his, or, I almost said one of his wives. I almost completely, just misworded that, but, one of the people he works with, their husband, works on Grant Enfinger's race team, and she was actually one of the few people that were actually in the stands last night. She got to have tickets for the truck race, she was there. So if you heard somebody screaming during the interviews, it was probably her and her friends. It's probably, because I could hear it like clear as day. But anyway, yeah, with Grant Enfinger though, he, man, he was not going to lose that race last night. Once he got in position, he was racing pretty dirty, to be completely honest. I was kind of rooting for Christian Eckes there at the end, because I didn't think Enfinger really deserved it. I mean, he pretty much kind of, the way he was chopping off Brett Moffitt, and then the way he kind of roughed up Sheldon Creed and ended up taking him out, kind of. Then even when he was racing Sheldon Creed, he was racing him side by side, like literally door to door, sheet metal on sheet metal. So yeah, I was pulling for Eckes, because then you had Ben Rhodes in second, who he dumped a car in the race, or truck rather, and then ended up obviously dumping a couple trucks last week at Texas. That was, Eckes hit him into Enfinger, and I was hoping that was going to be the run Eckes needed to get underneath both of them. I was going crazy because I thought he was going to get under both of them, but he kind of stalled his momentum out. Couldn't get back to the gas quick enough. Keselowski, Blaney have been going back and forth the last couple laps. Blaney back down to the inside of his teammate again. You see the run is faded here for Ryan Blaney. He's not looking as fast on the short run as what he did at the start of the race. Keselowski hanging on that right rear corner panel. Oh man, Brad got really tight up the racetrack as Blaney slid in front of him. Brad gonna get a big run though, off the top, off of turn 2. Giving Blaney a huge shot down the back straightaway as they try to stay in front of the 48 together now. So we are getting closer and closer to the end of stage number 1 with Joey Logano out in front. 15 laps to go this time by, but the top 7 all within 3 seconds still. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like he was dumping him. Like, I mean, he dumped him obviously, but it wasn't just that. Like, he was literally down the straightaways, not even side drafting him. Like, he was flat out just on him, because he knew that once Creed got around him, it was over. But I mean, at some point, but that I guarantee you that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the playoffs. Like, having the playoffs, knowing that was his shot to stay in the championship race, or to stay in the championship hunt, and if he didn't win that race last night, his season was basically over. He was literally, once he was doing that, I knew he wasn't going to lose the race unless he got dumped. And once Ben Rhodes was in second place, I knew Ben Rhodes wasn't going to race his team. He wasn't going to dump his teammate, even though he had dumped 3 or 4 drivers in the last 2 weeks. But I knew he wasn't going to do that to his teammate, so it was pretty much game over at that point. Yeah, the race was a little too sloppy for my liking. It was entertaining at first, but I mean, it took so long for those last 70 laps. Literally, I don't think they went more than 5 or 6 laps without a caution the entire last 70 laps of the race. It was like, it run 6 or 7 laps, caution, 6 or 7 laps, caution, 2 or 3 laps, caution, 2 or 3 laps, caution, and back to 6 or 7. It was a little too much. They didn't need that many wrecked race cars. Sad part is, it wasn't even all playoff drivers that were trying to race that aggressively. You saw a lot of non-playoff drivers racing aggressively for 15th and taking people out. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, that doesn't even have to do with the playoffs. That's just, you know, young drivers not really driving with their heads at that point. But it's kind of my take on it. I haven't watched a lot of truck races from start to finish this year, but I did watch that one from start to finish. I actually watched Texas from start to finish last week too. Well, okay, I missed the first like 30 or 40 laps because of the stream, but outside of that, I was able to catch all of it. So Logano still leads. He's about a second ahead of Blaney, who has just taken over second. Blaney has gone from 7th to 2nd in the last 3 laps now. I set on Joey Logano, who's trying to run that top lane, trying to find whatever speed he can. Hamlin was able to stay in that draft with Blaney after Blaney got around him down the front stretch, but he loses him in the corner, taking a different lane. I'll tell you what, I also feel bad for Hocevar. Hocevar fought his way to the front 3 separate times last night, and every single time he got dumped. He got dumped by a playoff driver, he got dumped by a guy that wasn't running, he got dumped by Sauter, I think, the one time. Like, he was just getting dumped left and right. I felt so bad for him because he showed the talent to work his way through the front, first ever race at Martinsville. Three separate times, and he got dumped all 3 times. I was like, man... Like, it was comical watching it at home, but it was kind of irritating because, again, that just goes to show, like, they were not driving with their heads at all last night. Like, I love Rubbins racing. I get it. That's part of NASCAR, and that's why I love NASCAR, because you don't see that in other motorsports. But, I mean, at some point, you know, when is enough enough? That got a little too ridiculous. Like, you don't see stuff like that out of a Cup race on a week-to-week basis. I feel like the Truck Series... That's what separates the truck from the Cup. They say it's entertaining, which it is, because I was entertained, but at some point it's like, that, to me, that's just not a good, not a great race. It was an okay race. It was a good race. I'd give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10, but that's a little too much for my liking. Like, I was in the situation, if I would have been, like, if I would have been Christian Eckes, like, after getting dumped last week, and I even said this to my dad because he was watching it. If I was Christian Eckes and I moved, I got my retaliation, I moved Ben Rhodes, I got around him, and then he just flat out moved him. Rhodes moved Eckes again on the last lap of the race, just completely drove right into him. And like, even Michael Walters like, man, Ben Rhodes just drills Christian Eckes. I'm like, I would have went up to Ben Rhodes at the end of the race and socked him right in the face. Like, it's 2 weeks in a row, bud. What are you doing? Like, you can't even let me retaliate. And he didn't dump him either. Like, Eckes didn't dump him. He just moved him out of the way. Martinsville. And then Rhodes moved him out of the way, but he hit him a lot harder. That's kind of my spiel on the truck race last night. Carter Madge, welcome to the stream. So here we go. We'll have 6 laps to go in stage 1 at the line this time. Blaney's got now a 2-second lead over Logano. Back to Hamlin in 3rd, followed by Truex and Eric Jones now in the top 5. So good run for Jones. Kyle Busch, not a great restart. Now he's still outside the top 5 to this point, but he's been as high as 4th in this race. Actually was up to 2nd on that last restart. Blaney's got the car at this point in the run. He should be able to pull away and win the stage as long as there's not a caution in the next couple laps that would give us another restart. Michigan known for wild and crazy restarts, and we have definitely had them here today. The initial start of the race, we saw some 4 wide action, and on that last restart, 3 wide for the lead. Kurt and Kyle Busch got around Blaney, so you're almost kind of a sitting duck when you're in the lead on the restarts. I mean, you can maybe hold your own for about a lap, but it doesn't matter who it is. We've seen guys get past, because even once Kurt and Kyle battled it out and Kurt Busch got to the lead, he lost it about a lap or 2 after that. It's so hard to stop the draft. So 4 laps to go, stage 1. Now we're at the point, if we get a caution, the stage will come to an end. So Ryan Blaney, as long as he keeps all the fenders on the race car here, will win stage 1. And Logano is quite a ways in second. Martin Truex Jr. with a big run is up to third. Followed by Jones and Kyle Busch now back in the top 5. Gonna have to keep an eye out on Keselowski as well. Again, he came from the back to the top 10 along with Blaney, might I add. So both drivers are gonna get stage points in stage 1. Blaney is likely gonna win the stage here, but where will Keselowski finish? And how many stage points will he get? Remember, Keselowski and Hamlin, for that matter, are in the hunt for the regular season title, just 7 points back of Blaney. And Blaney didn't have a lot of room there. He almost got pinched into the wall by Ryan Preece and David Reagan, but he just had a big enough of a run, and they were just able to get out of the way in time. Blaney almost into the wall off of turn 4 on his own that time. Oh, caution's out. We had a car up in smoke down the front stretch. Second caution of the night. Afternoon, rather. So second caution of the race here at lap number 58. That will end stage number 1. So Ryan Blaney will get his 9th stage win of the season, followed by Logano, Truex, Jones, and Kyle Busch, your top 5. Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Keselowski, Johnson, and Harvick, your top 10. So Keselowski, Hamlin, Blaney, all getting stage points in stage 1. All the top 3, again, within 7 points coming into the day in the regular season standings. Joey Logano wins the race off of pit road. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Stage 2 underway. Blaney gets through the shifts a little bit better than his teammate Logano. Can he get down in front of him? Yes, he does. Blaney from the outside to the lead. What a restart from Ryan Blaney. So he started on the inside front row and outside front row in this race, and both times able to quickly get to the lead. But can he hold on to it? Should be able to up to the start-finish line at least. So Ryan Blaney will lead the opening lap of stage 2. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. on the outside. Logano staying content with the bottom right now. Truex going to pull him back with the side draft, and Martin Truex Jr. could be going for the lead. Through turns 1 and 2, Blaney trying to hold them both back. And Truex going to get to the outside. He's got help from Kurt Busch. Man, they just blew right past him. Logano now going to lock bumpers with his teammate. Finally going to try to help him out as Truex went all the way upstairs. Oh my goodness! Kurt Busch and Joey Logano almost got together in turns 3 and 4. And Blaney couldn't quite clear Truex. He came close. Truex gets the run off the top and holds on to the lead. And now Logano almost got underneath Blaney. Blaney drove it in deep, back underneath of Truex again. And here comes Joey Logano now to push him. Truex is almost in the wall. That's how close he is, running near that outside wall. Logano gives Blaney a huge push. Blaney again to the bottom through 3 and 4. Trying to beat Truex to the gas. And he clears him that time, but Logano gets a bigger run on the bottom. Oh, contact between the 22 and the 12. And now Truex is going to shove Blaney as Logano will lead the lap. That's another lead change. 3 different leaders in the first 3 laps of stage 2. Blaney to the inside of his teammate, trying to hold on, but he couldn't do it. Logano kind of pinned him down there. Truex now on the top, trying to get the run. And here is Jimmy Johnson. Johnson's up to 4th. Truex looking low underneath of Joey Logano for the lead. But Logano shuts the door with the block. No drafting help on the top behind Joey Logano. Truex still trying to get under him, but Logano again throws the block. Blaney couldn't quite stick the bottom of the racetrack that time, and Jimmy Johnson now going to get under him for 3rd. What a run by the 48 of Johnson, trying to go back to victory lane course, has that long losing streak. Blaney going to cross him over after a shot from behind from Denny Hamlin. Truex going to try to go to the outside to get around Joey Logano. So Truex still hanging in there. By running the top there, you can see he's got the run to the back bumper of the 22. Blaney sticks to the bottom really well there at the 1 and 2 that time. Truex again on the top side. He gives up ground in the corners to gain it down the straightaways, and again pulls to the back bumper of the 22, but at some point he's going to have to get that run to get underneath Logano before they get into the corner. Joey got through turns 3 and 4 really well that time. But here comes Truex. Blaney trying to get a draft off of Truex. Logano definitely pulled away through 3 and 4 that time. Truex again back to the top. Logano on the bottom. Most importantly though, it's Blaney on the bottom. And he'll get around Martin Truex Jr. and clear him off of turn 2. Truex is going to shoot the 12 car now as they're going to work together to try and run down the 22. It's a big shot, big push. Blaney drives it in really deep through turns 3 and 4. Look at him close on the 22, but now he's pulled away from the 19. So no more drafting help behind Ryan Blaney. It's the 2 Penske cars now for themselves at the front of the field. Tell you what, that was a quick 8 laps since the start of the stage. Logano's holding the bottom. He's going to try to make Blaney pass him around the top. Unless Blaney can get enough of a run in the draft to get underneath him before the corner, like right now. Going into turn 3. They both drive it in hard. Blaney's going to clear Joey Logano and hold the inside well. Logano looks low. Blaney down to block as they follow each other to the inside. Joey trying to stay in the draft of Blaney. Another lead change there as Blaney's back in the lead. Logano trying to beat the 12 to the inside. They both drive it in hard again. 12 car's got a lot of grip in that race car today. Logano beats him back to the gas. Joey drives it in a little bit deeper through 3 and 4 that time. Blaney got out of the gas a little sooner to try and beat Joey back to the gas. And Blaney to the bottom trying to break the draft. 50 laps to go, stage 2. Still plenty of time in the second stage. Again, we will see a pit stop at some point. It's the best restart Blaney's had today. Fell back to 3rd and easily within 10 laps gets back to the lead. Well, I wouldn't say easily because Joey Logano's putting up a fight right now, but these two have pulled away from everybody else. Even Truex starting to lag behind and Hamlin starting to catch him. Blaney might have overdrove 3 and 4 there. Logano now to the outside through 3 and 4. So Logano going to try to change his line. He realizes now he's not able to get around Blaney on the bottom. I think Joey gained a little bit of time, but not much. He lost too much time in the corner before that. Joey to the top through 1 and 2 now. Blaney on the bottom. And Joey back down to the bottom. He realized that wasn't working. He's starting to lose ground. So Blaney slowly starting to pull away, just over a half-second lead on his teammate. Cody Johnson, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Xfinity race is on today. The Cup race isn't until tomorrow. Xfinity race is actually on currently. Is that on NBC or NBC Sports? Hey Corey, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining the stream. Having some fun at Michigan here today. Early stage number 2. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if it was on the big NBC network or if it was on NBC Sports. Fastest car on the racetrack today has been Ryan Blaney. He won stage 1. Trying to do the same here in stage 2. There's been 2 races this season in which Blaney has swept the stages, and both times he won the race that day. Trying to make it 3 for 3 if he is able to do that again here in this one. Entertaining restarts as this track goes to show, and again, that was as good of a short run car as Blaney's had today. No adjustments throughout the course of the day either. Just kind of was able to stay in the draft really well. Not let everybody get away. I think Logano was literally maybe 0.8 of a second ahead of him at the most. He was able to barely stay intact with the second and third place cars. Truex was in third at the time. He's now back to fourth. Or second, rather, at the time. And now he's back to fourth. But he was right there for the taking. The weird thing with that is I don't remember up until this season that NBC, at the end of like the NASCAR coverage, if it's on the main NBC channel obviously, that at the end of the coverage time, so if they're only scheduled to run till 6 but the race runs a little later, they just bump it to NBC Sports. They don't even give like a fair warning about it. It's got to be because the election's right around the corner. That's the only thing I can think of. Because I don't remember NBC doing that before this year. This consistently. I think they've done it with IndyCar a couple times, but I don't remember them doing it with NASCAR, especially in the Cup Series, up until this season. And that's got to be the only thing I can think of. First lap car of stage 2, Chad Fincham in the 49. Go another lap down, so 18 cars on the lead lap currently, by the way. And then he's out to a 4-second lead. Gonna alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. Still 42 laps left in this second stage. We had a thriller at Michigan yesterday on NASCAR Thunder 2004. 400 miles, 200 laps there. So we'll see if that will come down to the wire again today. Trey, welcome to the stream. By the way, I didn't state this at all during the stream, but happy Halloween, everybody. Should have opened up the stream by saying that, and I kind of completely forgot. I mentioned it was Halloween, but I guess I didn't greet everybody. Once Halloween comes around every year, that's when you know it's close to the holiday season. Thanksgiving in another month, Christmas another couple months. It'll be 2021 before we know it. Crazy. And a year that you would feel like has dragged on, then the minute you look at the calendar tomorrow, it's going to be November already. Also, don't forget to change your clocks back tonight as well. Daylight savings. Well, I guess it depends on where you live. I know there's certain states that don't do it. Like if they're right on the like time zone border, they don't do it. There's so many states that, I should say not so many states, but I know there's a handful of states that don't do it. I don't know how it works with other countries, but yeah, that Kenny Wallace accident a couple days ago at Texas was pretty. that was pretty horrific, I guess would be the right word to say it. I put it up on my Instagram too. I had the clip of that crash and then the extra video I made afterwards of it. By far the worst accident I think that we have seen on the channel to date. We've seen some bad ones, but I think we were waiting for one like that. It was only a matter of time, and NASCAR Thunder 04 delivered it. And I don't think we're done yet either. We still got a lot of... we're only 4 races into the season. I have a bad feeling we might see some pretty gnarly accidents. That game, a lot of the crashes in that game don't seem very realistic, and that was one of them. Almost halfway through stage number 2 here, about 34 laps to go. 14-second lead for Blaney. And Denny Hamlin, a couple laps ago, was able to jump up to second place ahead of Joey Logano in the 22. Truex still in 4th, and Kurt Busch has passed his brother for 5th. So Kurt's having a good run here today. He was also just inside the cutoff line coming into today's race. Kurt's sitting about 14th in the point standings. Not too far ahead of the cut line. I believe only 16 points to the good, if I remember correctly. Yeah, indeed, though. I did see that with Chase Briscoe. Actually, I didn't hear anything about it until they mentioned it on the NASCAR Weekly podcast. So, yeah, indeed. Thoughts and prayers are with Chase Briscoe and his... Is it his wife or his girlfriend? Are they married yet? Whoever, obviously, to them and their families. That's tough. Have that happen twice in the span of, what was it? It was the Darlington race, so twice since May. Couldn't imagine. Wife, oh, again. Yeah, I didn't want to get that wrong. That's the only reason I kind of... For some reason, I was thinking that they weren't married yet or something. Or maybe they were engaged, or I don't know. I don't know why I thought they weren't married. William Byron trying to get around Christopher Bell. Blaney stays to the outside, just squeezing up there on Christopher Bell. There was not a lot of room. He made a little contact with Bell at the end there, but that could have been a lot worse than what it ended up being. Kept it off the wall, and William Byron now the first driver 1 lap down in 16th. And Bell's 2 laps down. Remember, he started at the back as well, but he hasn't looked competitive today to be a top 10 contender, and that is not going to help. Of course, Bell 2 wins on the season, on a hot streak coming into the day. For the last 6 races, he's finished inside the top 5 with 2 wins in that stretch as well. So Christopher Bell's having himself a good season. The rookie trying to set himself aside and win that Rookie of the Year battle, so we don't see Custer or Reddick. Maybe an upset, like a Quinn Houff maybe winning at Daytona. It looks like Reddick, or sorry, Bell rather, would get the Rookie of the Year honors. Chase Elliott about to go a lap down up ahead here. I think Daniel Suarez is on the lead lap, but not for long if he is in that 13th position. And he's going to get around Elliott quickly. And it is Suarez in 13th. He'll go a lap down now, so there are only 12 cars on the lead lap. 21.5 second lead for Blaney, so about a half a track, a little over a half a track ahead of Denny Hamlin. Again, this is a 2-mile tri-oval, one of the bigger tracks on the circuit. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. I'll tell you what, man, I'm excited for the 2021 season though. Just the schedule itself. I'm excited to go to different tracks. Because a lot of that, I was excited for this year, and then obviously I was only able to go to 3 races because of COVID. But I mean, all the tickets getting renewed, and this guy from NASCAR called me middle of last week that telling me how much credit I still had left, you know, for tickets, and I got a couple of them renewed, and a couple of them I still have credit that I can use towards other NASCAR-owned tracks, more so that I haven't been to. So again, keep an eye out on that, keep an ear out. I mean, there could be merch coming to the channel before long. I'm thinking about doing like a, I don't know what kind of a design yet, but I'd like to do like a shirt with like the track list and like a schedule on the back of it of the races I'm going to, because between the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup all together, there's going to be quite a few of them next year, so it'll be a lot of fun. And by the way, yes, that Patreon, I will get the URL in the chat by the end of the night tonight for the Patreon. So that will be in the description of every video going forward. Just got to do some last minute, like, I guess, checks and updates with it before I actually make it 100% official. But that will be starting up as well. That'll help fund that along the way, obviously, too. And caution, once again. 3rd caution for incident today, almost halfway home. Right at lap number 94, it looks like. 95, rather. So lap 95, our 3rd caution of the day. Big sigh of relief for Kyle Busch. He'll stay on the lead lap. BJ McLeod will get the free pass in 10. So only 10 cars on the lead lap. And a poor break for Eric Jones. He was in the top 5 there for a little bit at the beginning of the stage. He has kind of faded back. And we're not going to have too much time left in the stage when we go back to green. Here we go. Ryan Blaney will lead the field to the green flag. Hamlin actually second off the pit road. Will restart on the top of the 2 Penske cars in line on the bottom of 2. Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota's on the top. Quickly Blaney pulls up in front, and wow, what a restart by Truex. He saw Hamlin checked up when Blaney pulled in front of him, And Truex goes from 4th. Great restart by him. Swings to the inside of Joey Logano and clears to the outside of Denny Hamlin. Off of turn 2, and now Truex is going for the lead. He had a great restart last time and got to the lead. We'll see if he can do it again. Blaney might have overdrove turns 3 and 4 just a little bit. Blaney will lead the opening lap of the restart, but Logano back alongside the 19 of Truex as they battle with one another. So we get a big run in the draft, nowhere to go with it. Here comes Truex, though. That top lane. This could get tight. Truex on the outside. To the lead, Logano. Oh, man, he got in the back of Blaney. Logano up the middle, 3 wide. Side by side, actually, it looks like nobody was to the outside. Now they're 3 wide. Kurt Busch and Keselowski in the mix. And Martin Truex Jr. is going to take the lead once again here today. And here comes Jones through the pack. Trying to get back on the lead lap. Or at least stay in that free pass position to the end of the stage. Or caution, whatever comes first. So Blaney lost a couple spots there, but he's trying to get back going again. He's got Kurt Busch pushing him on the outside down the back straightaway. Blaney was able to get around him for 4th. Truex still trying to hold down both Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano. Blaney got back to the gas pretty soon there from 3 and 4. Got it to stick really well. Logano back to the lead ahead of Truex. Hamlin with the run on the top now behind his teammate. As they'll try to go at him for 2nd. Blaney with a big run in the draft. Look at the speeds into turn 1 at 206 miles an hour. Another wild restart at Michigan. Oh, Blaney a little loose off of turn 2. He tried to stay off of Hamlin. He did a good job. Hamlin had the run on the top. We'll see if he'll try to go maybe on Truex for position now. No, he goes back to the top. Look at the run Blaney had on the bottom to get around Hamlin for 3rd. Hamlin to the back bumper of Blaney. He's going to push him. 2 cars faster than 1. And now they both go underneath the Truex. For 2nd. They got it. Truex now going to push Blaney off of turn 2. And that's going to hold Truex in the 3rd spot. As they work together now, Joey Logano maybe a sitting duck out in front of the field before long. He goes high. Blaney all the way to the bottom. Kind of clipped the apron a little bit as he slides up the racetrack. Maybe overdrove the corner just a hair. Oh, Hamlin to the inside. Blaney with a late block. There's a little contact. Truex and Blaney now pushing one another. Hamlin trying to side draft Blaney. He stays alongside of him. They're still side by side for 2nd. Joey Logano all the way to the outside. Maybe not the wisest decision. Hamlin has jumped up to 2nd. Truex to the inside for 3rd. Blaney going to let Truex get underneath him there, and he gives him a shot. And now Blaney trying to push Truex up in there. So that gets him to the inside of the 11 for 2nd. The 19 is stalled out with those 3 cars on the top side. He's got no more drafting help. Blaney tried to get him up there. Logano back down to the bottom. Big run from behind there by Blaney. Can Truex clear Hamlin? No, Hamlin's still there. Big run to the inside. Blaney gets underneath of Truex again. 3 wide for 2nd place. Blaney back to the gas first. 2 for 1 special in turns 3 and 4. Oh, not for long. Truex coming back on the bottom. Hamlin going to give Blaney a shot. Big run down the front stretch. 2:04 into turn number 1. Blaney to the back bumper of Logano. Logano through the block on the bottom of the track. And that just shot the 22 a little bit further out ahead now. Not exactly what Blaney was hoping for. Hamlin to the back bumper. Couldn't quite lock bumpers with Blaney that time. Blaney just a tad bit lower than the 22. 22 may have entered the corner a little too wide, and Blaney closes in for the lead. 15 laps to go, still stage 2. Blaney on the inside of Logano. Blaney drove it in a little bit deeper. And he is going to clear Joey Logano off of turn 2. Can Logano get him back now? Oh, Blaney might have overdrove the corner a little bit. He saw Joey drove it in deep. Blaney tried to do the same. And he's going to hang on in front of him? No! Logano just able to keep the car to the inside. I think he led the lap too. I think Joey led the lap. Blaney trying not to let him clear. Oh, there's a little contact. Well, now Joey's clear. He'll pull back up in front of the 12. And now Blaney's going to try to get a run in the draft. Going to push Joey Logano off into turn 3. Oh my goodness. That just shot Joey a little bit further up ahead. That didn't really loosen him up like Blaney was hoping. His teammates are racing really hard for the lead right now. Blaney gonna run that middle to upper lane. Didn't get all the way to the bottom there. He'll have a little bit of draft and a little bit of straightaway speed as well outside of the draft just by running a tad bit higher. So here is the run. Logano goes low. Blaney goes high. Trying to get on the right rear. There's a little bit of contact again. Blaney up the hill. Almost in the wall. Had to lift. Logano trying to protect the bottom. Truex underneath of Hamlin again for third. 12 laps to go, stage 2. Logano trying to get that playoff point. And Truex will get around Hamlin. No, he couldn't clear him there. Man, Denny almost got into him off of turn 3. Just squeezed on that outside lane. Joey runs a little bit higher. Blaney a little. Oh no! Blaney goes around and he backs it into the wall. Caution. That could have been a little worse than what it ended up being. Blaney drove it in a little too hard through turns 3 and 4, trying to catch Joey Logano. He clipped the apron, slid up the track. Backs it into the wall, but luckily only 1 second of damage. Blaney will pit. Eric Jones will get the free pass in 11th. That's good for him. Not going to take tires. Don't want to give myself an advantage because I brought out the caution, but I'll pit to repair the damage. Means it's under 5 seconds. From Joey Logano. Will lead the field to the green. Hamlin in second now on the outside. Green flag back in the air. Blaney's only back in 10th though. So don't count him out of the stage yet. 8 laps to go still, and the later into the run, the faster he's going to get. And we have the makings for probably another crazy restart. Oh, the outside line kind of checked up. Blaney didn't quite get off. Oh man, McLeod almost slid up in front of the 12 car. Harvick almost got in the wall. Couple checkups there. Blaney with a big run into turn 3, 3 wide to the bottom. Oh, maybe drove it in a little deep again, out of the inside of his teammate Keselowski. Truex all over the back door of Logano. They're 3 wide for third off of turn 4. What a restart by the 12 of Blaney. 7 laps to go in stage number 2. Blaney gives Hamlin a shot on the outside. Couldn't get the run he needed. Blaney up the middle. Truex is actually going to go for the lead on Logano. Blaney couldn't quite get to his outside. Is Logano going to go down and block? I don't know. Oh no! Truex trying to pull in line there. It's a little bit of contact. Truex was about to give a shot from Blaney to help him to the lead, but Truex pulled up in front of Logano. That almost caused an accident. Blaney is able to get around Hamlin. 6 laps to go, stage number 2. Truex with a big run to the inside of the 22. Got a push there from Blaney at the end of the front stretch, but he couldn't clear the 22. Big run down the back now. And Blaney's going to help his teammate Logano out by shoving him into turn 3. Blaney carries a run to the outside. And up to second, right behind his teammate. 5 laps to go, stage 2. Blaney to the outside for the lead. Can he stay there on Logano? Logano, oh, almost pulled up in front of him. Oh, a little bit of contact. That stalled out 12 cars run there. Joey almost pulled up and blocked him. Ooh, a little risky there on the bottom. Joey Logano at the line. Gonna lead the lap again. 4 laps to go, stage 2. These guys trying to get around one another just in case there's a caution. Blaney kind of holding Joey up the track a little bit. Tried to side draft him. Now tries to outrun him in the center of the corner. Blaney is in the wall. And Logano hangs on. And Hamlin's now back in it again. Blaney gets a shot down the back straightaway. Logano goes low. Blaney and Hamlin to the outside. Huge run by Blaney on the top through 3 and 4. He's going to have a huge head of steam now down the front stretch. Logano almost pulled in front of him. Not quite. Blaney's there. 3 to go. Stage number 2. And Blaney's going to go. He tried to clear him. He takes him out. The Penske cars are in the wall. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the Penske cars both in the wall of Blaney and Logano after Blaney tried to pull the block into turn 3, bringing out the caution, and that will end the stage, and Denny Hamlin avoids the accident to win stage 2. Blaney's actually scored second, and so is Logano, Truex, Keselowski, followed by Johnson, Harvick, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, and McLeod, your top 10. Oh my goodness. Joey Logano took the worst of that. Battling hard for the stage win, Denny Hamlin will win stage number 2 instead. And green flag back in the air. Hamlin wins the race off pit road. And Logano definitely lost a lot of spots there. The 2 Penske cars going at it. Blaney trying to push Truex. Trying to get him on the outside. Oh, Harvick. Blaney make a little contact, and where did Kevin Harvick come from? Oh, Johnson's in the wall. Johnson got in the wall off of turn 2. And look at B.J. McLeod. McLeod is in the top 5 up to 5th, and he's going to try to push Blaney. Hamlin leads the opening lap of stage 3 after winning stage number 2. Yeah, it's a good thing we only had 1 second of damage. We were able to repair it. 19 and the 2 side by side for second, and look at the restart Logano got from further back in the field. Back half of the top 10 at least is back up to 5th. 3 Penske cars running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Big run, Blaney to the bottom, 3 wide underneath Keselowski and Truex. That's what Hamlin wants to see. That's going to allow him to get away. Logano goes to the bottom. Right behind Blaney. Big push. Good thing these guys are teammates. I'm sure Logano didn't appreciate what Blaney did at the end of the stage, but with being teammates, and now look at Logano. He's had the fastest car in the short run all day. He'll get to second. And now the Penske cars are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Brad was able to get around Truex. So can these 3 work together and try to get to Denny Hamlin? Truex is going to get up to fourth again as he gets back around Keselowski. Logano's gaining a little bit of ground on Hamlin. We are less than 80 laps to go in this race today. Truex with a huge push on the back of the 12. Oh man, they almost got in the wall. Barely kept it off of it though. They'll keep the momentum going. That was a close call. Truex probably got to Blaney just a little bit too early. Here Jones back in the top 10 and now back into the top 5, or trying to at least. He gets alongside the 2, couldn't clear him for that 5th position. Truex again pushing Blaney down the front stretch, but Logano though, meanwhile, still trying to catch Denny Hamlin. He's got a faster car than Denny Hamlin. I mean, the 19 and the 12 are fast on the straightaways with pushing, but I don't think they're as fast as, say, the 22 and the 12 when they're pushing one another, because it just seems like the bumpers maybe lock up a little bit better and works out and that, and they just... The 22 is faster than the 19. That definitely helps. Logano tried to go to the outside that time to maybe get a run on Denny Hamlin. I don't know if that's really working out for him. Blaney kind of breaking away from the 19 a little bit. Logano goes to the bottom. I think he can catch Hamlin a little bit quicker, but Hamlin's staying connected to the bottom of the racetrack, so... We'll see. Joey went back down to the bottom. He gained a little bit more time on Hamlin again. Eric Jones trying to come back from a lap down, got the free pass at the end of stage number 2, and here he is. Should say the second to last caution at the end of stage 2. At 4 cautions total here today. Jones on the outside of Truex for 4th. Still battling down the back straightaway. Truex trying to pin him there. Try to side draft that left gear, and Jones might have slightly overdrove the corner there. He went a little higher, I think, than what he anticipated, and Truex clears him off the exit of turn 4, so now they're going to lock bumpers. And seen a lot of drafting ability here in today's race. Surprised Logano hasn't been able to get around Hamlin, but goes to show, once you don't have a lot of drafting help, it's so hard to pass the car with the clean air at the front. So maybe if Blaney could catch back up to Logano at some point, that could maybe help the 22 get to the lead, or the 12, whoever. I'm sure they'd love to be running 1-2, one so rather than the other, but at some point you got to say that one of these 2 cars has to win this race today. And for Joey Logano's sake, he is 13th in points. Not a great start to the season. No wins up to this point. This is probably the best we have seen Logano all year. And he's just going to get to the inside of Hamlin. Was able to side draft him just enough going into turn 3. They are side by side for the lead. But Hamlin stayed right on that right rear corner panel, and Logano couldn't clear him. And Hamlin's going to duck in line behind him now through turns 1 and 2. So Joey Logano by himself will get to the lead once again here at Michigan. He won the Michigan June race back in 2019. First race at Michigan with this said package, and he's leading here in this one. But now Joey goes high. Hamlin to the bottom, so they're battling for the lead, and you can see this is allowing Blaney to close the gap. Caution. Well, Hamlin actually scored the leader there. He was just ahead of Logano at the timing of the yellow. 70 laps to go. 5th caution of the day. Daniel Suarez will get the free pass back at 14th. Track position, the name of the game at this racetrack, and you're going to see these guys at the front stay out. It looks like everybody from 8th on back will hit pit road. And that means 13 drivers will have fresh tires to try and get up there, so we'll see. As the makings for another exciting Michigan restart, I'll tell you guys that much. Hamlin will lead the field to the green. It splits the Penske and the Joe Gibbs Toyotas up, though, on this restart. So we'll see how that's going to work. 66 laps still to go. 3 wide to the bottom goes Blaney. He's not even going to help Hamlin. It's a Penske sandwich going into turn 1. And look at Eric Jones on the restart. Follows Blaney right in there, and he's going for 2nd. 11 able to stay in front of the 22. But now he's got the 20 on the inside. Blaney with the clean air out in front with a great restart from 3rd. Maybe overdrove turns 3 and 4 a little bit. Kyle Busch on fresher tires has quickly gotten up to 3rd and now to the inside of Jones for 2nd. 65 laps to go at Michigan. Blaney's going to try to hold on to the lead as long as he can here. This could get tough. Kyle Busch going for his 3rd win of the season. Second win, sorry. Only 3 drivers with 2 wins is Harvick, Blaney, and Bell. And here comes Harvick on the outside. Haven't seen him up at the front much today. Blaney leads, and now Harvick to the outside. He has won here 3 times in the last couple of years. 4 times, rather. 4 times since the August Michigan race back in 2018. Went to the outside. Blaney up high now to block. Trying to hold off the 18 and the 4 as long as he can. These tires will come into play, because he's had a better car than these guys behind him today, but again, it's so hard to pass the leader, and now Busch to the inside, a little contact. Busch to the lead. 63 laps to go. Harvick gonna give Blaney a shot going into turn 1. Alex Bowman is now to the inside of Harvick for 3rd. Harvick had a big run on that outside lane. Blaney on older tires is just trying to stay with these guys. Stay in the draft of the 18 if he can. Try and cling on. Maybe he can get a run to get back under him one of these times. Didn't get the car to rotate all the way to the yellow line that time. Not until at least a little too late in the corner. Kyle Busch going to gap him a little bit. Blaney drove it in way harder than Busch did. Boy, Busch really kind of arced the corner off way more than Blaney too. Jimmy Johnson back in the top 5. He's up to 5th again. Now those guys that pitted under that last caution can't make it on field to the end of the race. Then that caution came out with 70 laps to go. Blaney runs that middle line through 1 and 2, not what he wanted to do, and he'll lose a little bit of ground. He's still in the draft to Kyle Busch, but not by much. He's trying to cling on there about as best as he can. Kyle's been arcing his corners way more than Blaney. Blaney's just trying to dive it in deep. Try to get close enough to get in the draft and hopefully stay in the draft down the straightaway is what he's hoping for. Busch kind of arcing the corners off a little bit more is automatically going to help his straightaway speed on top of the clean air. And now Blaney kind of arcs off 1 and 2 a little bit more. That was a little bit better. He just doesn't have the tires Busch has. And you can tell because he got loose off of turn 2 just gradually. Oh, what a drive in the center of the corner by Blaney. Oh, man, he just got in the back of Busch. That just shoots the 18 further out ahead, and it slowed the 12 down in the center of the corner, too. So that was not intended. Not what Blaney wanted to see there. Less than 60 laps to go at Michigan. Last couple laps, though, he has arced the corners off a lot better on top of driving it in deep, and now we get another caution. So caution's out again. And everybody who saw pit under the last caution will stay out this time. Blaney was surprisingly able to hold on to second, and now he'll top off on fuel and take some tires as well. Jones, Logano, Hamlin, Truex, Suarez, Keselowski will pit. Chase Elliott in 15th will get the free pass. So we'll have 56 laps to go when we go green. And we might see another crazy restart. Well, here we go. Oh, that's sad to see. My Michigan Wolverines got upset today. Well, that's great. What's new? Another year where we can't beat our rivals, I guess. 56 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Who will be the first of the drivers on fresh tires to get to the lead this time? Got about 10 lap pressure tires on these guys ahead of them. That'll make a difference. Oh, man. Look at Logano up the middle. Between Jones and Blaney, but nowhere to go with it. He got trapped behind Bubba Wallace. Oh my goodness, they're 4 wide down the back straightaway. What a move by Blaney. He was able to get in between the 22, drives it deep to the bottom through 3 and 4, gets it to stick. What a restart. When it looked like there was little to no room, now they're 3 by 3. Jones is going to give Blaney a shot. Look at the run. Kyle Busch, no chance to block it off going into turn 1. Ryan Blaney back to the lead again. Eric Jones at his home track trying to get his first win here and trying to take his first lead of the day perhaps. Highest in the running order we've seen this 20 car today. Blaney drove it in deep. He stayed hooked to that white line through 3 and 4. These are the only 2 on fresh tires. Jones had a run on the bottom. Blaney went 4 wide. And Jones now drives it in deep through 1 and 2. He's on the inside of Blaney. Eric Jones to the lead off the turn 2 from Byron, Michigan. Trying to get his win at his home track. Hamlin, Logano up to 4th and 5th. But it's Eric Jones now with the clean air advantage at the front of the field. Jones won the Daytona 500 this season. Trying to go for his second win of the year here today. Get 5 more playoff points. That'd be huge. He hasn't really had that great of a season outside of winning the Daytona 500 in the first couple races after that. Been on a little bit of a slump. Trying to get things picked back up again. And Hamlin is closing in now on Ryan Blaney as you see Jones really arcing the corners off, much like Kyle Busch did when he was in the lead. Hamlin's all the way upstairs. He's near the wall trying to get that lane to work. Blaney got a little loose in turns 3 and 4. Jones pulled back away from him a little bit more. Hamlin's closing in on Ryan Blaney meanwhile. Keselowski up to 5th. It's been pretty much a story all day. Penske versus Gibbs. There's really no in between. We have now seen all 4 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas lead today. And Logano and Blaney have led the most laps. Obviously driving for Penske, so. And Keselowski's been in the top 5 quite a bit too. He just hasn't led at all yet today. Hamlin got to the back bumper of Blaney, gave him a shot, maybe trying to work together to get up to Eric Jones. Blaney's trying to hold Hamlin back, and that's allowing now Joey Logano to catch up to both Hamlin and Blaney. Ooh. That kind of helped the 12th car turn there. He got a shot from Hamlin. Look at the amount of ground Blaney was able to gain through 3 and 4 on Jones. Jones went to the top as well, but I mean, Hamlin just shoved Blaney into turn 3. 50 laps to go. We're 3/4 of the way home at Michigan here today. Jones keeps going to the top side. Blaney couldn't quite stick the bottom like he wanted to, but he still gains a little bit of ground. Jones not as fast as the 3 cars behind him. I think it's a matter of time. We get longer into this run. Blaney trying to back out of the gas a little early. Get back into it even earlier. And he is running down Jones. Logano to the inside of Hamlin now for 3rd off of turn 4. Is he going to get there? Or is he going to drop in line behind him going into turn 1? Hamlin's been running the outside more often than not. And he's going to have to this time because Logano's under him. So Joey Logano will jump up to 3rd place and clear Hamlin off of turn 2 for 3rd. Blaney's kind of stalled out. Last couple laps, Jones has been able to kind of maintain the gap, and now Logano is going after Ryan Blaney for 2nd. Blaney drove it in deep through 3 and 4. Hit his apex perfectly. Oh, he's in the draft of Jones now. Down the front stretch, he's going to have a big run going into turn 1. Ryan Blaney for the lead. Going into turn 1. Jones didn't give him a lot of room, but Blaney clears him anyway. Blaney back to the lead again. Here comes Joey Logano. Blaney trying to break the draft down the back straightaway. Full throttle through turns 3 and 4. Blaney never lifted that time. He hit his apex perfectly. And pulls there Jones as Logano tries to reel in Jones for 2nd. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles one final time in today's race. Been a fun, fast one here today. Despite having 6 cautions total. Kind of a sloppy end to both stages. Hopefully we have a clean end to the race here today in total. Because it has been, like I said, fun, fast, exciting restarts. What you come to expect at Michigan. Logano's right on the back bumper of Jones now, and he looks low off of turn 4. So Logano underneath Jones for 2nd. Trying to hopefully catch Blaney before Blaney starts to drive too far away. Hamlin really close to both the 22 and the 20. Back at 4th, and Keselowski in 5th, but he's a couple seconds behind Hamlin even. $45 more laps. So Logano is there. He's up to P2. It's been a little bit since Ryan Blaney has been to victory lane on this season. Five races to be exact. He's had cars capable to win in that stretch. Dover being the big one of those races that he had the fastest car, just couldn't get the job done at the end of the day. But you can tell the momentum at the end of the Kansas race is definitely propelled here into Michigan after fighting from 4 laps down to finishing 12th on the lead lap. Against the insurmountable odds, it looked like he was going to finish well outside the top 20 to get that 12th place finish, and again, nonetheless, get back on the lead lap at the end of the race. Was huge. It was a great job to rally. It holds on to their points lead narrowly. When Hamlin and Keselowski scored a lot of stage points when Blaney had 0. Blaney bounces back today. He's won a stage. He finished second in stage number 2. He's leading currently by 2 seconds over Logano, but you look who's in third, Denny Hamlin. Keselowski wasn't fifth. He just got passed by Truex, but Keselowski's 6th. Both of them have scored stage points today in both stages, just like Blaney, so it's still going to be a tight points battle likely outside of this race today. And going into the road course, the first one of the year at Sonoma, that's going to be fun to watch in a couple of days. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Lap traffic now here in stage 3 for the first time. 40 laps to go in the race here today at Michigan. Again, everybody has to pit one more time before the finish of the race. Blaney running the outside to the 1 and 2. Got a little loose on the exit of the corner there, but we are right at about that pit window. If anybody tried to pit now, they could likely make it to the end of the race. For everybody that pitted under the last caution, they can make it about 26 more laps or so, give or take, on fuel. Haven't really had to deal with the tire wear at all today, so no issue there. It's just on fuel. We've seen fuel mileage races here in the past. Could this be one here today? It's not really looking like it. We know these guys have to pit, and everybody that did not pit under the last caution can make it about will have to pit about 10 laps before that, so they're probably looking at about 15 to 16 laps away from their pit stop. If they decided to stretch it to the end of the run, of course. Yeah, so I thought about pulling a wind valve and actually dressing up for the stream, but I couldn't decide on anything, so I just decided not to do it. I literally couldn't, I had zero clue like what I've been so busy a lot, and I was like trying to think about it offhand randomly, but I'm like, I really want to give myself enough time on top of like and try to squeeze in or going somewhere to find something or ordering something, so yeah, I just Oh no, Blaney loose again! Oh, he saved it! Oh my goodness! He drove it in a little bit too deep. And he's just going to decide that now is going to be the time to pit while he got loose. And gave up all that track position. 4 fresh tires. And a full tank of fuel. Final pit stop of the day for the 12 team. My goodness, what a save through 3 and 4. Locked it down. And it was dirt track racing from that point on. Turning right to go left. Back into the throttle to drive it onto pit road. And .8 second stop. Final pit stop of the day. Blaney short pitting here at the end of the race. Made that slight mistake. Figured that was going to be the best time to do it. Shouldn't have flat spotted the tires, but slowing down as much as he did might as well. It's a big enough racetrack he didn't have to worry about going a lap down as well, and that is the case. So Blaney's still on the lead lap. I now want fresher tires than anybody else. Trying to cut into that deficit. And he should be able to cycle himself back in the lead if we stay green long enough, obviously, to have everything cycle through. Here you see 15 drivers on the lead lap. All of them still have a shot. We've seen crazy restarts. Heck, we saw Eric Jones go from about 8th to 1st on a restart earlier, and we saw Kurt Busch go from 7th to 1st on a restart earlier too. So that was when everybody was on equal tires. So it is not impossible. If you're in those first 4 rows roughly on a restart, you can get to the lead. We have seen it. Blaney took it 4 wide from 8th place and got to the lead within a couple laps on the last restart. Again, he had fresh tires, but you saw the aggressiveness in the moves there to make it happen. 32 laps to go. 31 now with the leaders not too far behind Blaney from where he came out of the pits. So 31 laps left at Michigan. We'll stick with the normal camera for the rest of the race. It has been a fun day today. Maybe not a classic on the channel like the last race, and the caution will fly. And that will play into Blaney's hands. He'll get back to the lead. These guys will only have about 2 to 3 lap fresher tires behind him, so that's not going to make much of a difference. William Byron will get the free pass in 16th, so Blaney will stay out. He'll get right back to the lead. And that caution could have been better timed if it would have came out a couple laps ago, but still, only 2 to 3 lap fresher tires isn't really going to make much of a difference at this track. This track does not really take a toll on tires at all since the repave earlier last decade. Hamlin wins the race off pit road. He'll restart in 2nd. Will this be the final restart of the day? Less than 30 laps to go at Michigan. 28 to be exact. Blaney gets through the shifts really well. It was about this point, well, it was a little bit later, I guess. We saw 3 cautions come out NASCAR Thunder 04 yesterday in the last 14 laps of the race. Our caution's going to start to breed more cautions here as we get later and later into this one. We've already had 3 of them in the final stage alone, so that's about a 50 lap stretch. Eric Jones back up to second place. He wants to win at his home track so badly. Look at the run by Logano on the bottom. Oh, Jones is going to beat Blaney back to the gas on the outside. Eric Jones is there. Oh, and Logano almost took it 3 wide. Blaney blocks him, and now Logano just shoves Blaney into turn 3. Bottom of the track, Blaney back to the lead again. That was a huge push from the 22 car from behind. Oh, he just shoves the 12 up the track. They're 3 wide for the lead. Jones with the run on the top all of a sudden. And here comes Hamlin. Jones is back out in front again as the 2 Penske cars, for the second time today, have gotten into one another. That time they didn't wreck it, but they came close. And Logano able to regain the lead through turns 1 and 2, sliding back in front of the 20 of Eric Jones. Look at Truex with a head of steam. Hamlin up to second. Maybe looking to the inside of Joey Logano for the race lead. Truex going to give Blaney one huge push. Stay underneath the 20 car. Oh, contact. Got to be careful. These guys leaning on each other here at the end of the race. Blaney's doing everything he can to try and clear the 20. He can't do it. Slide up in between him and the 19. Truex is going to give him a push down the back straightaway. Penske versus Gibbs late in the race, as it has been all day. Blaney going to slide up in front of Eric Jones now. Oh, man. Oh, he about got turned. Jones got right into his right rear corner panel, about turned Blaney. Meanwhile, Hamlin's going for the lead. Denny Hamlin to the inside for the lead. 3 wide, back for third. Truex going to get right around Blaney as they split him to get around in there. And Denny Hamlin is out in front of Logano and the rest of the field here at Michigan. Blaney trying to cross over the 19 and the 20. 3 wide, back to the bottom himself here. Slides up the track. He almost made contact. The 20 really sucked the air off that right rear corner panel. He's able to hold on for 4th. Blaney back to P5. Keselowski in 6th. Kurt Busch 7th. They follow through here. Cool to see Chastain go for an Xfinity Series title. Knowing it's probably his last real shot at it now that he's going Cup racing start next year full time. 4 points. Blaney going to get right around Eric Jones, and Jones is going to push him off of turn 4. Blaney's going to get a big run now down the front stretch on Martin Truex Jr. And Hamlin's starting to slowly gap Joey Logano. Blaney, meanwhile, will move himself up to 3rd. Getting right around Truex. Truex locks bumpers with the 12 of Blaney. Logano goes low. Blaney's right there with him. He's not on his bumper though, but Logano trying to get back to the lead. 21 laps to go. Is Hamlin going to try to shut the door on him? Believe he is. Blaney kind of took that wider arc into turns 1 and 2. Staying pinned behind the 22 car now. And they're side by side down the back straightaway. Penske to the inside. Blaney goes 3 wide to the bottom. And are they going to make it through 3 and 4? Blaney shoots himself to the lead. What a pass. Logano trying to cross him over now. And Logano gets him right back. Hamlin to the outside of Blaney for 2nd as he gets right on the right rear. And Blaney went for it all, had it, and then lost it immediately. And now Truex. He's in the picture. Blaney holds on to 2nd ahead of Hamlin. He's got Truex right on his left rear. Hamlin does, and pulled him back. And now Blaney with a big run under his teammate Logano again into turn 3. This time it's side by side. He'll get him again. Can Logano cross him over? No, he cannot. Not that time. Blaney stays low. Blocking him now down the front stretch. Blaney to the lead. 19 laps to go at Michigan. Logano right there for the taking. He's going to get it underneath him. Blaney gives him a ton of room. Way too much, though. And Logano's going to get him right back. And Hamlin. Truex almost got around him, too. Blaney gets the run off the top. He'll stay in front of Truex down the back to the inside of Hamlin now for second. Gonna try to get to Logano. Look at Truex following Blaney underneath Hamlin for third. 4-car race for the win. Logano now back to the lead again. Another lead change, 18 laps left. Blaney to the inside once more. A little side draft there going off into turn one. He'll get around him. Slides up the track, and again Logano back to the bottom. Blaney couldn't get it down the track. Oh, there's contact off of turn two. And Logano clears him. Oh, Blaney all the way to the apron, maybe a little too low. Logano drives away a little bit more off of turn four. Blaney trying to keep him within reach. A 4-car battle for the win with less than 20 to go at Michigan. Logano goes low. Blaney to the middle. Trying to get right on that right rear. That didn't work. He might be able to get a run down the straightaway in the draft again, though. Yes, he does. Another big run. This time he'll go low. Into turn three. First two times. It worked out at first, but he couldn't hold the bottom enough. Doesn't hold the bottom again, but Logano didn't get the power down quickly enough. Another lead change. Blaney to the lead. 16 laps to go. Blaney didn't get all the way to the bottom like he wanted there. Logano couldn't get under him, though. He wasn't close enough. Blaney breaks the draft now, down the back straightaway, going low. Back up now so he can arc his corner off through 3 and 4. Oh, and again, Blaney a little sideways. Overdrove the corner. Here comes Logano on the bottom. He couldn't even block him either. Blaney just threw the lead away there. He's got time to get him back. Logano leads at the line. They've traded the lead back and forth about 5 laps in a row now. Blaney again to the bottom. Gets back in front of him. Joey again with another crossover. And the 19 and the 11 are back in it again. More contact off of turn 2. Oh my goodness, Blaney. Oh, and he about gets turned. Truex is in the wall. Truex got right into the right rear of Blaney coming off of turn 2. That'll get him up to second. Hamlin now going to shove the 12. Blaney goes high. Hamlin to follow. And now Hamlin down to the inside behind his teammate Truex. Blaney no drafting help. Couldn't clear the 19. He was still there. Logano running the outside near the wall. Might not be the best thing for him. And Hamlin maybe trying to take it 3 wide here. There's a block. Truex couldn't go any lower. He had Hamlin underneath him. He almost made contact too. Blaney up to second again. That rear bumper damage on the back of the 12 could be making the car a lot looser. Maybe a little too easy to drive on entrance to the corner. It's causing him to dive it in a little too early, and that is why we have seen him get really loose here over the course of this final run. Logano's going to try to hang on to it. Blaney needs to get to the lead, hold him off for a lap, and he should be fine after that. He could break away in the draft after about a lap or two. He's got that fast of a car at this point in the run. It's only going to get a little harder for Logano to hang on from here. Maybe hoping for a caution to hang on. Joey, oh man, he tried to throw the block. Then he's got that wheel turned all the way to the left. It's not cutting back down. Logano gets back around him. Logano not going to block that time. Blaney had too big of a run, but now can he hold on to the lead? Beats him back to the gas. That time he's clear, and he'll stay clear off the turn 4. Logano trying to stay in the draft on the bottom. 11 laps to go at Michigan, another lead change. Seen a lot of them late. Blaney trying to find victory lane for the 5th time this year. It has been 5 races since he has gone to victory lane. And Logano's lost the draft. He's starting to lose Blaney. Ten laps to go. This time by at Michigan, it is Ryan Blaney in front by a second over Joey Logano, followed by Hamlin, Truex, and Jones. Is the race over yet? Heck no. Blaney should be able to drive away, but now he's hoping it stays caution-free for the rest of the race. And this 28-lap shootout to the finish is going to be the last green flag run he's got to worry about. Huge pack of lap cars up ahead, but he's starting to widen that lead out. It shouldn't really affect him much. Wide enough of a racetrack too will help. Called welcome back, no problem though. Not being able to stay along. Blaney leads here with less than 10 to go. 9 to be exact. 9 laps left. Hustling around these lap cars. 3 wide off of turn 4. I didn't think we were going to see as much bump drafting today as what we did see throughout the course of the day, but that was pretty much since the drop of the green flag. Short run, long run, it doesn't matter. We've seen a lot of bump drafting. It has worked out pretty well down these long straightaways on this 2-mile racetrack. It's not going to help the rest of the race unless we get another caution, because as far as trying to win it goes. Logano is pulling away from Hamlin and Truex, by the way. They're still battling hard for third, Hamlin and Truex, but Logano in second by himself, and he's about a second and a half ahead. Lap traffic could cost Logano a little bit of time, though, so I guess can't count him on finishing in second no matter what if it stays green to the end, but 6 laps to go. Now almost a 7-second lead between the 12 and the 22. Eric Jones back up to 5th place. Keselowski just outside the top 5. Should be right around 6th or 7th. Probably either him or Kurt Busch in 6th or 7th. Truex just gets around Hamlin now for 3rd. We're coming to 4 laps to go this time by. If a caution comes out now, we go past the scheduled distance and we'll head to overtime. 9-second lead. It's amazing how quickly he was able to pull away. Again, he just took the lead with 11 laps to go. Lap traffic has definitely probably helped him pull out to as far of a lead as he has. Now Logano's 3 seconds ahead of third, Denny Hamlin. By the way, did get a spot back from Truex a lap after. Truex had passed him, and now Truex trying to get around him again as the intervals are really close. And Eric Jones is now only a second behind the third and fourth place cars. So he is catching him. Two laps to go at Michigan. Blaney just trying to get to the white flag. Caution. And we are headed to overtime. With less than 2 laps to go, Ryan Blaney leading by 9 seconds over Logano, and the caution flies. William Byron will get the free pass in 16th. He just went a lap down. And we'll do it again. Doesn't look like anybody's pitting, so as long as Blaney gets through the shifts and pretty much has the lead going into turn 3, he should be able to hold on. He's got the race car at this point in the run. And their best chance for anybody else to get around him here is going to have to be before they get into turn 3. They're going to have to at least be alongside of him. Overtime at Michigan, green flag back in the air. Blaney not worried about pulling up in front of Joey Logano. Logano pulls down in second place. Blaney got through the shifts perfectly, trying to pull away off of turn 2. Blaney did a perfect job there. He didn't want to move high. He wanted Joey to have a shot to finish second still. Joey's had the second fastest car all day behind Blaney, but has challenged him a lot as this race has gone forward, especially in the final stage. And really late in stage 2, despite the fact Hamlin won stage 2 today. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go here at Michigan. Next flag will end the race. They are battling hard for second there still. Logano can't break away from the pack. Blaney has. As long as Logano's able to hit his marks on the bottom of the track, Hamlin shouldn't get under him. 1 mile to go. Ooh. Now went upstairs over there. And Hamlin gets under him. Can he clear him off in turn 4? Tough to tell. Ryan Blaney wins his 5th race of the year. It'll come at Michigan, my home track. For the 2nd day in a row, we win at Michigan. 2 different games, both in the Cup Series. Ryan Blaney gonna burn it down here at this racetrack. See that victory lane on the front stretch? We actually pulled this car into victory lane ourselves. For all that, he saves the engine. There we go. Take a look at the finishing results for today's race. Hamlin was able to get around Logano on the last lap for second. As mentioned, Blaney won. Blaney won stage 1 as well. Hamlin won stage 2. So good runs for them throughout. And that keeps the points battle tight. Blaney not letting, or I should say Hamlin not letting Blaney get away with it. Joey Logano finished 3rd. Eric Jones 4th. Truex 5th. Kyle Busch 6th, Kurt Busch 7th, Brad Keselowski 8th, with Brad not scoring as many stage points nor finishing as well as Denny Hamlin. That makes Denny Hamlin now second in points by himself. Brad will be down to third. Johnson with a good run in ninth, and BJ McLeod with another top 10, his third of the season. 15 cars finished on the lead lap at the end of the race today. And 3 drivers failed to finish. David Reagan, Joey Gase, and Matt Kenseth all DNF'd in today's race as well. So again, these point standings not accurate. I have to do the point standings myself here. But I can assure you that Ryan Blaney has a narrow points lead over Hamlin. A little bit more over Keselowski now, but it's likely still easily less than 25 points if I had to guesstimate off the top of my head with the points scored in today's race. And there is Blaney in victory lane here for the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan. It was a good race. Went to overtime at the end. The restart before that was probably the more thrilling one of the day. Blaney led the most laps too. 93 of the 200 laps led today. Logano had the fastest lap as well. And again, Blaney from the rear and 37th all the way to the front. Matt Kenseth qualified 5th. Ran well early. DNF'd not too long after that. So that is going to do it here for this one. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the race commentary, the video in general. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Earlier start time for that one. Going back to NASCAR Thunder 2004. It will be the Food City 500 at Bristol. Chaotic. We'll see if we can get to the end of the race. Hopefully we can. But thanks everybody for joining here today. By the way, start time on that one will be right around 10:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. So late morning start to that one. Nice and early. Get up and watch some NASCAR. Have to get it in before the Martinsville race tomorrow. That starts at 2, so we have to we don't have much time to do it tomorrow, but we will get to it. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a good rest of your night. Enjoy the Cup race, or sorry, the Xfinity race going on right now, and I will see you later.